are now adding their voice. Everybody wants to exonerate himself because they know what is coming. They know what is coming, both from the masses and from international community. So everybody is taking position now. Everybody is taking position. Those people that kept silent, go online. You see them, they are not talking. International partners are watching and they are taking notes. So whatever you do, whatever you say, whatever you support, the international communities, they are watching and they are taking notes. We still have international aftermath. What we have to expect from the international bodies. Foreign government will respond, not immediately, but strategically. Foreign government will respond, not immediately, but strategically. All you need to do is to pay attention. Pay attention. Foreign government will begin to respond to this atrocity you saw yesterday, to this very travesty of justice you saw yesterday. Governments, foreign governments will begin to respond. Maybe not immediately, but strategically. You begin to see the result. You begin to see tighter diplomatic questioning. Tighter diplomatic questioning. You will begin to see downgraded trust. They don't even have trust on Nigeria before. So the little one that they have is now thrown through the window. The little trust, benefit of doubt that people give them, they have destroyed this yesterday. Increase monitoring. The world will increase their monitoring of activities in Nigeria. From what they saw in court yesterday, they will put their satellite and put their eyes on the ground to check and cross-check what is happening in Nigeria. Increase monitoring. Human rights inquiries. You know, for a very long time, so many human rights abuse is going on in their court, outside the court, in the streets, but nobody's paying attention. Now, expect more attention to be paid. Another major thing to expect is possible sanction in the long term. Sanction is going to come. Both the judge, both the government officials, everyone that is involved, both the forces. Sanction is coming, and it's coming speedily. From the public, what to expect? The people know the truth. Nigerian public know the truth. They have known it even before now. You cannot sentence a movement. Never. You cannot sentence a movement. You cannot imprison an ideology. You cannot silence a call for freedom. You cannot. This judgment has strengthened the Biafran cause, not weakened. They think, oh, the judgment will weaken us. The judgment have strengthened us more, not weakened. This judgment have given us the courage to do more, fight more, never give up. It doesn't make us weak in any way, in any form, in any shape. This very sentence of Nnamdi Kanu yesterday backfired against Nigeria. Take it to the bank. The sentencing of Nnamdi Kanu yesterday backfired against Nigeria in all sides. When a government tries too hard to silence one voice, it exposes its fear. They are afraid because they know Nnamdi Kanu is innocent. They know Biafra call is legitimate. They know the international community is now watching closely. They know very well. Instead of weakening the movement, this sentencing has united more people. It has drawn more people to the cause of Biafra. It will draw more people to be sympathetic to the cause of Biafra. It has drawn more support from Nnamdi Kanu. United more people. This sentencing yesterday exposed the regime of the drug baron. The regime of the drug baron, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, This sentencing have exposed it more. It confirmed global concern. These sentences, they confirm the global concern they have about Nigeria of being a country of particular concern. This very sentencing yesterday confirmed global concerns. The concern of the United States that they've been talking about yesterday was confirmed. It also rekindled international attention. They can't afford to ignore anymore. More attention will be paid on Nigeria. It proved that Nigeria is afraid of accountability. The contraption called Nigeria is so much afraid about accountability. Nigeria has created a problem that they cannot suppress, cannot hide, and cannot escape. Did you hear me? Nigeria have created a problem that they cannot suppress, they cannot hide, and they cannot escape. They are trapped. History will remember this moment. History will remember this very moment. Every nation has a defining moment. This is Nigerian moment, and they have failed the test. The judiciary has failed the test. The government has failed the test. But the people have risen. The truth has risen. The movement has risen. Nnamdi Kanu will be free. The world is watching. The aftermath is only beginning. What you are seeing now is just the beginning. A lot is going to happen in many days to come. If you believe in justice, if you stand for truth, if you want the world to know what happened today, I beg you. If you want the world to know what is going on, join us and share this program. Share to family and friends, share on your WhatsApp group, share on your platforms, share it. Comment your thought on the comment section. Whatever be your own thought, put it on the comment section so that the world will read. Don't keep it yourself. We all have to contribute. Use the hashtag. Make your voice impossible to silence. At this time, every one of us, we need to make our voice impossible to silence. This is not the end. This is the beginning of global awakening on what is happening in the contraption called Nigeria. My fellow Biafrans, we must not give up. We must not relax. We must not be afraid. Wherever you are as a Biafran, this is the time for us to show what we are made of. This is time for us to fight our battle and win it. This is not the time to exercise fear. It is not the time to begin to cry or to show weakness. This is time we need to show strength. Show the world that we know what we are doing. Show the world that we are ready and prepared for our freedom. Show the world that we are unstoppable. If you have not been part of this very struggle, this is the time for you to join the struggle. Do your own part. Do your own part. It is Nnamdi Kanu today. You don't know who he's going to be tomorrow. Yes. You don't know who is going to be tomorrow. It is Nnamdi Kanu today. You don't know who is going to be tomorrow. Don't say you are not warned. Don't say you are not told. Don't say you didn't know. There is no excuse. It can be anybody tomorrow. It can be anybody tomorrow. So the earlier you take responsibility now, the better for all of us. The earlier we stand up and do what we have to, because nobody is going to fight this battle for us. Nobody anywhere. we need to free ourselves. It is you and I that will free ourselves. Nobody is going to do it for us. If we do not fight and free ourselves, nobody will do that for us. So I urge every one of us, wherever you are and you're watching me, I urge you to stay strong and do your own part. Every one of us have a responsibility. We must continue to pursue and follow that responsibility to the last. Don't ever try to walk away and run away from it. So, my fellow Biafrans, we are going to go into some of the revisions from their own conventional media. You know, every time when we come, we go to their media to bring their own reaction. So we are going to go into the Nigerian media, get the reaction they have in their media. Let us see what they are discussing on this verdict on the case of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. There are so many reactions, some positive, some negative. So many of them who have pretended all this while they don't want to talk. Many of them are now talking. Many of them are now talking because we have gotten to a time where you wouldn't say you didn't hear. There is no more excuse. So let us hear what they are discussing in their own media.
The Nigerian Federal Court has convicted Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, on terrorism-related charges and sentenced him to life imprisonment. Justice James Omonosho ruled that prosecutors proved Kanu used IPOB to incite violent attacks on security officials and civilians in the southeast. Kanu, who also holds British citizenship, was ejected from the courtroom during proceedings after accusing the judge of relying on unwritten laws and calling the judgment complete fraud. Kanu was first arrested in 2015 on multiple charges, including treason with felony. After being granted bail in 2027, he disappeared until his controversial 2021 extradition from Kenya, which supporters described as an extraordinary rendition. While prosecutors sought the death penalty, arguing that Kanu's broadcast on Radio Biafra encouraged unrest and strengthened secessionist sentiment in the region. IPOB has law that...
You see, when you see this idiot reading thing, when he talked about Mazen Nnamdi Kanu disappearance, he never mentioned what caused the disappearance. He only said that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu disappeared and later be arrested, which is a lie. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu did not disappear. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's home was attacked. 28 men were gunned down in his home. Jack was killed. His parents died with trauma. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu narrowly escaped. And even while Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was in exile, he told them that he's ready to come and continue his case if they can guarantee his safety because they want to take his life. Then they went to Kenya and kidnapped Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and brought him back. That is the foundation, not what this man is reading. If you see him, he's reading a script. He's reading a script that was sent to him. But those of us who are on social media, Biafrans, we know the truth, we know the fact. We don't read scripts. We tell you exactly how it happened, what happened. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu did not disappear. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was attacked by the federal government in his home to take his life. 28 men died in the process to save Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's life, and he narrowly escaped. But when you see them come to narrate their own readings, you see how he was rushing and reading and reading. I want you to pay attention again and see how he described that very narrow escape of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu for his life and the extraordinary edition. This is a script they gave him to read. And shamefully, this man is still an Igbo man. An Igbo man, but helpless. Hands are tied. They write a script and tell him to read. And all he has to do is to rush it and read it. It's a shame.
The Nigerian Federal Court has convicted Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, on terrorism-related charges and sentenced him to life imprisonment. Justice James Omonosho ruled that prosecutors proved Kanu used IPOB to incite violent attacks on security officials and civilians in the southeast. Kanu, who also holds British citizenship, was ejected from the courtroom during proceedings after accusing the judge of relying on unwritten laws and calling the judgment complete fraud. Kanu was first arrested in 2015 convicted on multiple charges, including treasonable felony. After being granted bail in 2027, he disappeared until his court.
That is a lie. Kanu did not disappear. That is a lie. He did not disappear. It is very important to point that out. Nnamdi Kanu did not disappear. He was attacked in his home by the military. They came to kill him. And in the process, 28 men were killed. And he narrowly escaped for his life.
Congressional 2021 extradition from Kenya, which supporters described as an extraordinary rendition. But prosecutors saw the death penalty, arguing that Kanu's broadcast on Radio Biafra encouraged unrest and strengthened secessionist sentiment in the region. IPOB, outlawed as a terrorist organization in 2027 by a court, but we also understand that another court says, look, IPOB is not a terrorist organization. But the organization has been linked to violent sit-at-home enforcement and multiple attacks across southeast Nigeria. A lot of people also argue that, look, IPOB, because IPOB has said, look, we are not responsible for the violent attacks and blame unknown gunmen for such attacks. But a splinter movement, the Biafran government in exile, led by Simon Ekpa, who is recently in jail in Finland on terrorism charges, has also been implicated. According to SBM intelligence, separatist militants has contributed to at least 700 deaths since 2021, while Nigerian security forces have themselves been accused of human rights violations during operations. The renewed agitation stems from long-standing feelings of political and economic marginalization in the former Eastern region, which unsuccessfully attempted to succeed as Biafra between 1967 and 1970. Ahead of his conviction, Kanu wrote directly to Donald Trump, alleging a Judeo-Christian genocide in the Southeast. I don't know where this information is coming from, but following reports trying IPOB's lobbying efforts to recent U.S. designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern. The verdict marks another turning point in the pro-Biafran movement's fraught relationship with the Nigerian state. Barrister Darlington Agommo, you listen to my intro. You followed the judgment. It was broadcast live on TV. A lot of Nigerians, millions of Nigerians watched it expectantly. And Nnamdi Kanu has been found guilty of terrorism charges, by the federal government of Nigeria, and he was sentenced to life imprisonment. What is your reaction to that judgment? I want you to speak first as a lawyer before we delve into the politics of the court.
Yeah, Mr. Okoro, the judgment, I listened to it in one of the radio stations. All through, from the beginning to the end, even though I am not in Abuja, but I listened and I wasn't happy. It looks like the judgment of the presidential election tribunal. That is what it looks to me like.
Okay.
Because when you see travesty of justice, even you as a professional, you ask yourself, is this what this law all about? The law is supposed to be the last hope of the common man. But in Nigeria, it is the other way around. Seriously. Our judges, the way they are doing, they are going to disgrace this profession. People may no longer have any hope in the judiciary. You heard what the president said 2 days ago on the judges' conference. You saw how he castigated the judges and the corruption in the judiciary. You heard it from the horse's mouth. I was thinking that would have helped the judges to be circumspect whenever they are trying to hand down judgment on critical issues. But the answer is no. What they accuse Nnamdi Kanu for? Look, it's unfortunate even that Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer we are not defending him towards the end of his case, of a trial. It's unfortunate because most of this thing they said is what the lawyers would have trashed out.
At that point?
Yes, they would have trashed it out because it is his defense. The things they accuse him of, if he had allowed his lawyers to come in, they would have trashed some of them the same way they did it at the appeal court. But for reasons, based on him, he decided to. I know the illegal gamble he wanted to,
Okay.
by asking the prosecutor to now let the onus be on him. This electoral act. They said the electoral act now, if they amend it, the onus will be on INEC to validate any election. Are you hearing me now?
Yes, very
good. So the onus will now be on INEC to decide an election, not you. It is the same thing that the Kanu was trying to gamble. But already, this prosecution gathered evidence. Most of the things they accuse Nnamdi Kanu is what he said.
Yes, very sad.
What he said. And you and I know that people have said worse things in Nigeria, Mr. Okoro. I mean, look at it yourself. Everything. He said this one. He said this one should do this. He said what he said is what they are using against him. Is that justice? But these other people that are cutting people's head in broad daylight. Look, I don't want to be emotional this evening, but let God judge at the end of the day. Because I remember Chief Awolowo faced the same thing under his brother Shoemimo. And Shoemimo had to tell him that my hands are tied. Yes, when Awolowo wanted to make, he said my hands are tied. That means the military government have decided that Awolowo should be sentenced.
Okay, so the court was simply working to an answer.
I mean, is it not obvious?
Okay.
Look, I wish we had time. I will point out all the loopholes. Because 90% of what they are doing is what he said. Not what he did. He told this person he told the person to do this. He told the person to do this. But Mr. Okoro, please tell me, haven't some people done worse things in this country today as I talk to you? I mean, people who have sacked an entire village, slaughtered all of them, take over their village, rename it, and they are taking over their votes.
Barrister, we'll come to that. But I'm happy that you are bringing forward,
Legally,
okay,
it is wrong in law for what they did. Yes. Anybody may come and tell you, Nnamdi Kanu said this, Nnamdi Kanu said this. These other people that they don't only say it, they are doing it with their hands. Because for you to do all these things, you must they establish a prima facie case. But how the mens rea and the actus rea, which is mostly absent, because you need to establish both the physical and the mental elements in a criminal matter. All we are hearing that Nnamdi said this, he broadcast this, he said this, he broadcast this. But they did not tell us where Nnamdi Kanu was carrying gun and killing people. My people perish for lack of knowledge. The man that was reading the judgment, I congratulate he has done well, but Mr. Okoro, some of us, we are going to get that judgment and keep it for reference.
And at the end of the day, you say the citizen copy will be made available, right? And even at the cost.
Of course.
You have many points of disagreement. I listened to the judgment too, part of it, and I heard the judge, the person that read it, say, look, when he wanted to define terrorism, you know what? He said, according to the Oxford Learner's Dictionary,
Mm-hmm.
should a judge rely on what the dictionary says to define?
I'm not what the law
says.
That is part of it, though. Yeah, I mean, they have different.
Because I was pretty surprised.
No, they have different definitions of these things, so. But they did not relate it to what is going on in Nigeria today. Was it Nnamdi Kanu's activity that made Donald Trump to call Nigeria a country of particular concern? Was it Nnamdi Kanu's activity? The answer is no. Apart from Nigeria, mention any other country in the whole world that call IPOB a terrorist group. The answer is no. So, if your organization is not a terrorist group, how can you be a terrorist? Mr. Okoro, if your organization you are running is not known by any standard to be a terrorist group. How can you now, you that is running the organization, be a terrorist? You can imagine. You can imagine.
Barrister, part of the things that the person that read the judgment, I guess it should be the judge because it was shielded from public.
Of course, yes, now, it might be a DSS man. I don't think that man is a motor shop. I don't think so. The voice and everything. But whoever it is,
they say that one of the information, what the evidence is that, look, DSS said that Nnamdi Kanu imported radio broadcasting and that he didn't have documents.
Yeah, he didn't declare it. And which is 5 years or so under the Custom Act. Is that so serious? All the smugglers that are bringing things in court.
Barrister, the judge also said that, look, that he didn't have a license from the MDC to do the broadcast. And some people are already asking, what of Radio Kudirat?
I wonder, no. I said, whenever you have been declared a bad boy by the government, they will do everything to drag you, to bring you in. I'm not joking. They will do everything. Even when the law is very clear, they will twist it. What I told you, what are the things they accuse? You said, you broadcast, you said. They never mentioned to me when Nnamdi Kanu went and sacked an entire village and killed all the people there. And they saw pictures of Nnamdi Kanu shooting this gun and all. So anybody can use Nnamdi Kanu's name to perpetrate evil, and they say it's Nnamdi Kanu. And the one that is most funny, the one that somebody was telling, we have run Agege police station. And Nnamdi Kanu, don't tell me that you have done this. Go and do it, And they concentrated on all these things. What Nnamdi Kanu broker, what he said. This was the concentration. Giving you dates when he said it, when he did not say it, and all that. So that the years make it look like the guy have committed all the crime on earth. Because he said that they should run Tinubu's hotel, Oriental Hotel. Are you serious? These are things that people have done and they are working freely in Nigeria. That's what they used to nail Nnamdi Kanu. He said something. He said it to, but somebody threatened Tinubu's wife and said they should kill her. He, the wife of the president. And up to today, no police, no DSS, no army called him for questioning. Sheikh Gumi is running another terrorist organization of which he goes to commune with them. Somebody brought terrorists into this country, Mr. Koro. It's on record. How many terrorists did Nnamdi Kanu bring into this country? Let us start from there.
Barrister, we'll get to all of that. We'll get to all of that. We are still dwelling with the evidence before the court and all of that. They also talked about rendition. At a point, they said, well, yes, he was brought back. But they tried to justify rendition within international law. And they now find instances where the United States of America has also rendition people. So when it is convenient for them, they want to take examples from the United States of America. But when you try to take them, hold them accountable, they say, no, America is an advanced society. Barrister, what do you call that?
Yes, even at that, it is very wrong in our judiciary for you to make reference with foreign judicial cases. The Supreme Court has banned it. The lawyers in Nigeria we have enough cases here. You should not make reference to foreign judgments. It's on record. Although when they are kind of Phoebes, whatever, I was saying, look at this people. They were quoting UK, quoting US. You know what? That is propaganda. Trying to make these foreign powers to know that, yes, Nnamdi Kanu is even against them. That is what is going on here. The Supreme Court has told don't bring any foreign judgment here. We have enough cases for you to make reference to. But in this case now, it is convenient for them to quote. The other good part of America and UK, they will not quote it. They will never. They will never quote it. That is just the issue here. It's unfortunate where we have found ourselves as Igbos. Because anybody that wants to catch cruise now. He will use Igbo man.
But is it about Nnamdi Kanu or is it an Igbo?
It's an Igbo thing, no. I don't know what to do. The same thing the Jews who suffer, they say no, enough is enough. Is that not true? It's the same thing. Go and check. I have asked you here, what is that thing that the man have done in Nigeria? What crime did they commit?